May I pay respect to all the Bante Venerable Sirs, brother and sister in the Dhamma. Maybe from my sorry. Okay. I think today we come on the last day of the Dhammayatra program. The Dhammayatra program started from 2012. At that time is the year of the 2600 anniversary of the enlightenment of the Lord Buddha, 2012. And at that time, 2011, we have the big flood in Thailand. So that's why the organizing committee leading by Longpo Dhammachayo organized the Dhammayatra program. At the first year is about 27 days. But on January to make the merit for the land, Thailand and Buddhist people and for Buddhism also, because everyone when saw the Dhammayatra monks walking more than 1,000, they feel sattha, happy to see the Dhammayatra monks. So at that time is the started of the program on 2012, and after that we have the Dhammayatra program every year until now. Only 2017 we don't have this program, and this year is the 9th Dhammayatra, but it's the first year of online Dhammayatra program, and I hope that everyone enjoy the program on the online Dhammayatra program. As the first year, we have 14 times of the activities, 7 times for welcoming the 1,250 Dhammayatra monks in Phim Kim Met Walk, and 7 times for candlelight ceremony to in homage to the Lord Buddha and Great Master พระมงคลเทพมุนีสดจันทสโล and commemorate the 7 memorial site of Luang Pu or Great Master. So today is the last day of Dhammayatra, and you can see that benefits of Dhammayatra is a lot. Dhammayatra monks, 1,250, they can practice themselves for monks at Vinaya. They can learn the Dhamma during the program. And not only Dhammayatra monks, but the mentor monks and all the staff. And this year you can see we organize the Zoom program, 1,000 Zoom room. WAB is 10 because international is mostly Thai people, but international we have 10 room. The staff, everyone working together. So this is benefit for monks and staff. Benefit for lay people who join the program, as the MC told you, Ajahn Yuko, that many participants from many countries. Yesterday I saw my old friends about 20 years ago, Sangdeli from Korea also joined the program yesterday. We come from South Asia, from East Asia, from Southeast Asia, from Middle East Asia, from UK, from USA, from Africa, from Australia, all joining together. This is benefit because when they join, they can meeting each other, they can uplift the cultivation, the morality and sattha. If we stay alone, sometimes we feel lonely, stay alone. But when we join together, we can encourage each other. This is the benefit for Buddhist people who join the Dhammayatra, and also benefit for Buddhism. And as you see that now, Buddhism is many people, many masters say that now monk is decreased, Buddhism situation is decline. So the Dhammayatra program, when the pictures not only in the Zoom but post on Facebook, YouTube, and sharing to many Buddhist people around the world. Although some people don't Buddhist, they also see and they feel good because this is the show the gratitude to the one who dedicate their life for the peace of the world, happiness of people, which is our guest master พระมงคลเทพมุนี So Dhammayata is benefit for Buddhism also, benefit for monks, benefit for lay people, Buddhist lay people, benefit for Buddhism. So that's why we have Dhammayata program every year until this year is the 10th year, but 9 Dhammayata because 2017 we don't have Dhammayata, and uh, and today is the last day of Dhammayata program. That's why today we have the very special program. Although we just prepare just 2 or 3 days for preparation, but very good that for the metta of Sangha all over the world. Now from Myanmar, from Cambodia, from Vietnam, from Laos, from India, from Bangladesh, from Nepal, from Bhutan, from Sri Lanka, from many countries all over the world, Mahayana also, today joining for global chanting against the COVID-19. This is very important, as our MC talked already, that now all the monks at about next 1 hour, they will chanting together for Ratana Sutta. She will discuss to eliminate all the disease, Ratana Sutta, and Pochongkaparit, or the 7 factor of awakening, very important for the patient, for the ones who got sick already. Pochongkaparit is very good for this point. And the last one is the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, is the heart or the core of Buddhism, because it tells us about the middle way, the Four Noble Truths, and the Eightfold Paths. So I hope that you enjoy and happy. Also, this is the last day of Dhammayata, but don't mean that we will finish the Dhamma program. We still have Dhamma online program, and maybe expand more and more, bigger and bigger, because now all the staff, all participants can learn how to use the Zoom application. And in the future, if have more high-tech technology, we will use that to propagate the Buddha Dhamma. So today finish Dhammayata, but we still have Makhabucha, we still have Earth Day program, still have Visak Day program. So we will plan and inform you again. But today, let's join the rest of Dhammayata global chanting. And I would like to inform you that today, very kind of Luang Por Datta Chivo, he more than 80 years old already. He is the chairman of Sangha in the Dhammakaya temple. Today, he will give the Dhamma talk on Zoom. And I heard that if they can prepare in time, many senior monks, world Buddhist Sangha leader, they will give the speech. But because the preparation time is very, very short, so maybe some months, but they will enjoy, at least they will enjoy and chanting together. Or the monk have another room, Zoom room, about 9 and 10 room only for Sangha. And then we will use the technology to share the Sangha picture all in the big screen, so everyone can see all the monks from all over the world chanting together on the Zoom screen for today. And I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to all Bante who joining our program. I saw many Bante joining every time, and I would like to sincere my appreciation to all the participants, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, who joining our program. Indeed, we would like to invite everyone to share your experience, to express your feeling to us, everyone, but because the limited of time, so we can share only some of our Dhamma friends. And today I feel really honored that Brother Lai Ket Yong, our Secretary General, he invite Dhammachari Andrew William from Australia. He is the Vietnamese Dhammachari monk, live in Australia, and he teach very good Dhamma talk. I think we should give him time more than this, but I am sorry that today we got our program time very constrained, so he can talk in limited time, but very valuable. After this, he will share with us with Butterfly interview him. And after that, we will have the Sentan program of Dhammayata for today, lighting ceremony and global chanting for Sangha. So I would like to invite everyone to listen carefully to our Dhammachari Andrew William from Australia, interviewed by our Butterfly Ket Yong. So please now.
Namaskar, Luang Pi. Thank you very much, Venerable Dr. Ponchai Palawatthamo, the WAB President. And I take this opportunity to pay my humble respect to all the Venerables, Mahathero and Pikuni, and also all welcome, and also thank you all for joining Dharma brothers and sisters. Yeah. Now, today we are very honored. In fact, because I think Dharma Master Dhammakaya Andrew Williams, he is a very busy master and working a lot for Buddhism. Yeah. Now, Dhammakaya Andrew Williams is a Dharma lecturer in Tu An Temple in Melbourne, Australia, since 1998. Yeah, and apart from that, Brother Dhammakaya Andrew William is also the executive committee of the Buddhist Federation of Australia, as well as in the World Alliance of Buddhists itself. Right? He is also our executive member and also an office bearer. Yeah. So without further ado, I'd like to invite and also welcome Dhammakaya Andrew Williams to join us now. Welcome, Dhamma Master.
Thank you very much. I'm very, very pleased to be invited. I'm very pleased that I could have the time to do. It's not very late. I think it's about 9:30 p.m. in Australia, so they're still very awake.
Yeah,
so I hope everybody's.
Thank you very much. I'm in fact, I felt so good, right? I'm in fact very honored that you can join us today. Yeah, every time I talk to you, I think you have very limited time for yourself. Been doing a lot of Buddhism work. Yeah, you have been giving Dharma talks as well as well known for your Dharma and music, and also writing musical scripts. Yeah, which is part of the Dharma. So that is very inspiring, especially to the youth in Australia and various parts of the world. Yeah. Now, this year, it is the COVID situation has affected all of us. Yeah. Travel is actually near impossible, right? With a lot of, even if you can travel, there's a lot of restriction in place. Yeah. And apart from that, I think we have a resurgence in COVID situation all across the world, and a lot of places are still on lockdown. Yeah, but it is very good that venerable, our most venerable Luang Por Dhammakaya of Wat Phra Dhammakaya came up with a vision, to have the Dharma program live with live participants on Zoom, where we can see since 6th of January, there are hundreds of thousands of people participating on Zoom to be part and parcel of the program. Now, can you tell us your views and your take on this kind of program, about having
absolutely
on Zoom?
Well, obviously, when you have face-to-face or in presence Dharma talks, it's probably better for the students. So they can ask questions and so forth. The same with ceremonies and so forth. But we can't have that, as you mentioned. The travel is almost impossible. I know in Australia that we're not allowed to travel internationally unless it's for exceptional reasons. And also, even though in Melbourne we haven't had too many cases in recent time, that the virus is still around, and we can have classes in the temple now with masks and so forth. But I've chosen not to do that as yet, because that way can leave the temple open for the Vietnamese practitioners. and not to be intermingling, with my Australian students as well. So what I've learned to do is use the computer better. I've never, as you may know, my brother, that I've never been that great on the computer. And so I've had to learn very, very quickly, starting, say, from the middle of March, because that's the last face-to-face Dharma class that we had. And especially from June onwards, where we've been doing the Dharma talks online using Zoom. A couple there for, it's private in a sense for more advanced students, but also we've been doing the public one. And so if you look at, it's a very negative thing for the world, and many people got very sick and many people have died. And it's, very sad, especially for families and so forth. But there's a positive to all the negatives. In this case, for myself, I have now students in different parts of the world that I talk to every Saturday, and including England and Myanmar and India, Nepal, and the US sometimes when they can stay up late, and so forth, other countries as well. So get back to your original question, and I think that the programs, I first got involved or had some communication with Dhammakaya Temple in Sydney in about 2010, and Long Na Sudamo there invited me to travel with him initially to South Korea in 2012, and then I visited after that conference there. I visited Phra Dhammakaya in Bangkok, and so that was my first experience. And did a little bit of work, with the online presentations of the teachings of the great masters, and so to do the radio and things like that. So I think that was really, really nice. I really appreciated that. And again, I visited the time when you and I first got to know each other well in 2016, and we visited again the temple there. And so I've been quite aware of the active nature of the spreading of the Dharma by the Dhammakaya and the Dhammakaya International as well. So I rejoice always in this. Where sharing the Dharma can be done in many ways. The most important thing is to have the pure intention, not to do it for egotistical purposes or to push our views onto people, not to think that we're the only ones that's right, things like that. Actually, to have the pure intention to bring benefit to all living beings, and to present the Buddha's teachings in many different ways, like I said, whether it's through talks, through writings, through things like magazines and books and so forth, through music, as you mentioned, which I don't play music live really as such, unless it's really necessary at that time, but I still do the writing. And you mentioned the musicals. Yeah, we did those. I mean,
it's a good way to get the interest, especially of the younger children as well as the youth.
Yes.
When you ask them to chant it the traditional way, I think no way they're going to follow you on that. If you go a little bit hip hops and with guitar music and all that, yeah. you kind of gain their interest as well.
I'll share something with you that I remember many years ago. I was teaching in the Dharma Drum temple here in Melbourne. This lineage comes from Master Shinyan out of Taiwan. And anyway, one lady, a Chinese lady or Taiwanese lady actually, came to me and she says, I really like your Dharma music, but why don't you do it in Chinese style? And I said, actually, Buddhism has had a long history, over 2,000 years in China, 2,600 years in the Southeast Asian countries, and of course it started in India and Nepal. And so already there's this cultural music. It's there already. So now the Dharma is in a place, the Western culture, places like America, where, by the way, I just mentioned that I started teaching Buddhism in the USA in 1998, and then moved back to Australia and started here. So I just wanted to mention that to clear that up as well.
Yeah.
And so in the USA, in Britain, in Europe, I mean, the Dharma is everywhere. So I think to present it from my point of view, not to learn different styles of music in a sense, but actually just write from my heart, and utilizing the music that I'm familiar with and writing according to that. And so that's what I said to her. I said, actually, you already have it. You already have Dharma music with the Chinese style. And now we have the Aussie style.
Thank you. The one good thing that comes about after this COVID is the information, the usage of information technology in our we kind of blend it in our day-to-day activities. Yeah. So now you hear quite a lot about people using Zoom, about the Google Meet, and things like that, which was unheard of, right, before the pre-COVID time. Yeah. So right, that is why now even 80 years old, you can see them using Zoom, trying to get into the program, how to use their smartphones and things like that. That's the one thing, good thing is that is why now we have more than 1,000 Zoom rooms, which WAB itself has got 10 rooms, right? And daily we have countries from all across the world joining us, right up to Australia and various parts of the world, in the US, in Romania, Europe, Africa. So that is one very, very good. I think that is very encouraging to know. Now, my next question is, I think you are quite familiar with the Dhammakaya program, and because just now Venerable Dr. Ponchai Palawatthamo has mentioned that this is the 9th year that we are, Dhammakaya is organizing the Dhammayatra program. And you are pretty aware that the Dhammayatra are newly ordained monks who practice the goodness in accordance with the Dharma and meditation. And these monks will walk barefooted. I myself have welcomed them before physically during the last few programs. Barefooted, they walk barefooted on pilgrimage to various places to spread their virtues and practices for practices of perseverance. Yeah, and in your opinion, Dharma Masters, what are the benefits for Buddhism and also for the lay people about this Dhammayatra program?
Well, first of all, I think that all of these different traditions, ancient traditions that come from the time of the Buddha, and maybe some developed shortly or sometime afterwards, I think it's important to keep them alive because they've worked. And there's an old saying, don't fix something that's not broken. And so, so continue to have these ancient traditions, protect them, make sure that they're practiced with good intention. It's good then for the people, the monks that are practicing this themselves for their own particular practice, also the ordained Sangha as a whole, as well as for the lay people that welcome them and rejoice in the fact that they're doing it. And even sometimes walk along, maybe with them for part of the time as well. I think all of this is really, really good practice. You could say that we can marry the ancient traditions like this, there's many of them, of course, with the modern times, as long as the through thread there is the pure intention to practice the Dharma. How do we do that? We do that by always reminding ourselves to take refuge in the Triple Gem, in the teacher, in the Buddha, in the Dharma, the Immaculate Teachings, and also in the spiritual community, the Sangha. So it's really important that we always base our practice on these pure intentions, based on taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And this will help us in our practice because we're human beings. All of us human beings. Sometimes we may make mistakes, and so when we do that, it's important to be aware of that, and then to correct it. And then slowly, step at a time, we improve until eventually, and depends on your understanding of the methods to be used and your implementation of the methods, and also your effort, how quickly you can go along the path and eventually attain what we call nirvana or enlightenment, or be awake, So if we can always check our intentions. So going back to your question there, I think it's really important we keep these types of traditions alive and very bright and put out there for the people to see. I think there's many people I know that weren't Buddhist, in the beginning of their life, when they see the monastic sangha gathered together like this, and walking in line. There's a saying in the modern world, all the ducks in the row. But of course, we're not ducks. But what that means is that saying means that we've got everything together. We're not going like this with our mind. So it's all to do with the mind, actually. So we have everything in order, in other words. And so seeing this formation like this, I think is really helpful for even people that are not Buddhist, as you mentioned before, or Venerable Dr. Ponchai mentioned before as well. So hopefully that covers your question, but I want to add one more thing. I want people to also realize that we are in the middle of what we can call a 100-year pandemic. It happens about once every 100 years, as far as we know, going back 600-700 years even. I did a little bit of research on previous ones, especially the one about 100 years ago. And unfortunately, as human beings, we keep repeating history. So I think I use this opportunity to encourage everybody to be really careful, really responsible. Don't think of just yourself or even just your family, but think of the wider community. And maybe a little saying I came up with in the beginning of this pandemic was, we should be thinking like, what is it that I can do and not do to bring benefit here, to be of help, rather than thinking what I can get away with or how much I can get or do. Actually really think about that, and also take the opportunity while you're doing this to slow down a little bit. It doesn't mean that you won't get as much done with your computers or even at home or working from home, or even if you're going to work. It doesn't mean that you won't get as much done. In fact, you'll probably be more productive the more you calm down, the more you clear your mind. And so this, I think, is a good time for some people. I don't think everybody's doing it, but some people to take this opportunity to really collect their mind,
I think we are running very short of time.
Absolutely.
Dhammakaya. I want to thank you for your advice. I want to thank you for your views and all your opinions, your valuable opinions. Thank you very much. I hope to see you soon after the COVID situation. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So now I can be silent.
So once again, thank you very much, Andrew Williams from Australia. And that was very inspiring, and also it gave us a very good Dharma message, and also advice to all participants and all our audience all over the world. So with this, I pass you back to the main program.